Geordie Journo's back again outside St James's Park as a trio. Welcome back, Liam. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Part-timer.
You're more than
Yeah, a little bit.
And Newcastle were back with a win. Carabao Cup, it's their competition, isn't it? 4-1 against Bradford City this evening. Never in doubt, really. Cruised to an impressive victory. Braces from Joe Linton and William Asula. Your thoughts, Jordan?
Yeah, an easy night's work, bar maybe a 10-minute spell when Bradford got a little bit of hope after their goal, but not a really professional display from Newcastle. Got through without any hitches. 7 changes to the team, a really strong team from the off, which sent out a pre-match message that Newcastle meant business in this competition, and playing the likes of Bruno and Joe Linton and the 2 centre-halves, which we'll come on to. Lewis Hall playing, Anthony Gordon and Anthony Alanga. So a really strong 11, and that showed when you put out that type of team. It's really hard for a League One team to get a result. Yeah, and they put up, as I say, it's sort of a fight, but Newcastle were easy winners in the end. But that they turned up professional, and you got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, well, we were speaking ahead of the game, potential banana skin.
I wouldn't know then, yeah.
Bradford City high flyers in League One. These games can be
honestly,
difficult.
Listen to YouTube video last night. I was texting these guys. I was like, Jordan, we're playing Real Madrid tomorrow night.
Yeah, no. On reflections, to be fair, I only stated facts. Top of League One, flying.
It's nice of Mbappe to get that consolation for them, wasn't it?
I tell you what.
In fairness, ahead of the game, you were sweating over Andy Cook.
I was.
Because obviously, a boyhood Newcastle fan, you know how these can sometimes go. Yeah, exactly. And to be fair to him, he gave the Bradford fans nearly 5,000 of them something to hear, cheer. Yeah. And yeah, great goal.
Yeah, it was.
But enough about that. Newcastle, come on, Liam.
What I think tonight, I thought it was like, well, your thoughts really, Jordan. It was quite routine. I thought there were some real positives outside of those who scored. It was nice to see other people getting on the score sheet. It was nice to see Will Asula justify his selection. But I also think it was positive to see the likes of Lewis Hall just kick off a little bit more of that rust. And it was nice to see the 2 centre-halves, as you sort of alluded to before, build a little bit of a partnership. I think, as much as I love Dan Burn, as much as I love Fabian Schär, that's the future of Newcastle United's centre-half partnership. Yeah. So the more the chance they get to play together, and I know the sort of news were debating it last night, rightly so, does Jamal Lascelles come in, does he not? I think that really was the right call from Eddie Howe. I think you want to see those 2 lads play together, because that could be a partnership that really is sort of the future for Newcastle. What I would say about it is, I think Malik Chow's a player who to me looks like he plays right on the edge, but I do quite like the fact that he's a constant threat. Really, he's always looking for players with forward passes. And now it's not your wound up Fabian Schär one that almost like is quite
telegraphed.
Yeah, telegraphed. It's these sort of zipped passes in Joe Linton in a little gap, or Bruno in a little gap. I like that, and it brings with it a lot of risk. Bruno carries risk in midfield, other players carry risk in what they do and how they pass, but Miley did that today. I thought he made a mistake for the goal. That was his only blot, I would say, in a pretty flawless copybook. I thought that was the type of Lewis Miley performance that everybody's wanted to see. I know the opposition, that's the thing. It's the opposition, realistically.
But it's about taking opportunities, isn't it?
And that's all you guys asked for from him in the last couple of videos, is go and grasp the opportunity. And I thought it playing in his natural position, in my opinion, the deeper role, I think it suited him really well. And he was seeing the game in front of him. He was moving the ball quite well, bringing other players in. I thought he linked it really well in midfield. I was really impressed by Miley, apart from that little mistake. But no, I thought they were the positives that I took from it. Look, it was I've seen a lot of people on social media raving about Bruno. I thought it was a patchy performance from Bruno, being brutally honest.
2 assists.
Two great assists. Should have got a couple of goals. Probably wasn't as influential as he wanted to be in that first half, but grew into the game as others did. I thought Voltamora came off. It would have been nice to see him get on the score sheet. Didn't have an opportunity to, of course. Came into the game late. But like I say, Asula showed he can score off the right, he can score off the middle. Look, he's still raw as hell, but it was nice to see him just tap the manager on the shoulder with a little performance and say, look, I'm still here if you need us. And that's all you can ask of players given opportunities, is go and prove that. And I thought Miley did that today, and I thought Asula did that today.
It's perfect, these type of games for Will Asula, because it's like, just get out there, run around, make the difference, and I thought he did that today, and that's what he's there to do ultimately. is like ease the load. If we were going into this game with, say, Voldemort having to start up front or Anthony Gordon having to start up front, you almost like started thinking about Sunday against Arsenal, another big game, and then the Champions League after that. William Osula's just eased the load and just helped Newcastle with that performance today. And Eddie Howe said afterwards, gave him food for thought, but
he probably hasn't much. I still think he's going to go with Voldemort. He's got a decision to make next week because the games are thick and fast, aren't they? So it'll be Voldemort starts, you would imagine. You'd imagine against Arsenal, wouldn't you? And then does he go with Voldemort again in the Champions League, or does he go? I think it would be a little bit disappointing if he did 2 Anthony Gordons in the first 2 games of the Champions League. Being brutally honest, I would be disappointed.
You think Voldemort's fitness levels naturally will be a bit higher by then?
They've managed it.
Because they can't go with Gordon for another Champions League game. It doesn't send out a good message. Based on the performances we've seen from Anthony Gordon up front this season.
On paper, it's not saying it's going to play out like this, but on paper, that's your easiest game that you have in the whole of the group stage. It feels like a surrender sometimes when Gordon plays up front. That's now on Gordon.
It's because he's wasted up out there as well.
It's wasting him. It's wasting a position. You'd almost be, if he was going to go down that route, I'm saying, is it not worth potentially just chucking Osula in?
In the Champions League?
He was in any game rather than putting Gordon in there, because at least he's a striker.
Well, I mean,
took his goal well today, but should have scored a lot more.
He was trash against
He's really
Leeds,
good. He's really good on the shoulder. Will Osula, he's got that pace to get in behind. When he goes on the right hand side, he's almost like, because he's quite erratic, he just barges into people and he's like quite direct and he just runs it, and he can get tackled but he still comes away with the ball. Whereas when you're in a tight sort of centre forward position,
ball just comes back, doesn't it?
Yeah. He gives away too many fouls for me, and you even saw a glimpse of that today when he came back in his own half, needless handball against a better team, against an Arsenal, for example. That's a dangerous free kick.
No, so I'm not asking of that, but almost if Voldemort isn't an option, is it not better to go with Osula than it is Gordon? And you know, I see Will Osula for what he is. He's got a lot of faults, but is it not better to go with a striker in a striker's position rather than Anthony Gordon? Are we not at that point now?
I think you're probably right. Yeah, I do. Because Anthony Gordon this season is a striker. He's good with his link-up play, makes runs, etc. But isn't that finisher in the box? But is Will Osula that as well? Is Will Osula
probably
the finisher?
Not, no, but then you still get Anthony Gordon on the left.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the best winger Newcastle. I think. Did you want to say that in the video the other day? He's the best winger Newcastle to have at any point, left or right.
Yeah.
He has to play on the wing. That's his best position. Play him there, and make do with something else up front. That would be my choice.
Yeah, I agree. I actually thought Anthony Gordon did everything but score tonight.
You liked him.
I thought he was almost like every time he got the ball, he like, right, I'm going to make something happen. And it didn't always come off, but I just thought it was a really positive performance from Anthony Gordon.
I thought he played in the 10 quite a lot today. I thought he was actually quite
he came in centrally quite a few times. I liked him as well. I think, as I say, he done anything but score. Could have been quite easy for him, I suppose, with many of the players actually just coming in and sort of like throwing it away. But he looked like a player that wanted to impress, and it looked like a player that wanted to make up for lost time in many regards. Because he has, I mean, he's played Champions League, but he has wasted games this season by that silly red card. And I think even Anthony Gordon as a whole hasn't really been the Anthony Gordon we know probably this year. And I still think we're waiting to see that on a consistent basis. And hopefully this is a step in the right direction where he's sort of shown that intent, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Because when he's on form, England international, he's one of the best left wingers in the Premier League.
Just don't see it enough, do we?
No, because he's done silly things like get red carded, but I just hope that's sort of like a step in the right direction where he showed a lot of intent against the World League opposition. That goes for everyone as well, to be fair. The changes they made tonight, it was a strong team by Eddie Howe and the players put it in. I don't know, I know we're professionals, but it can be hard to get up against the World League opposition, especially when you've this competition in many ways. I know it sounds really silly because it's a competition Newcastle won last year and he'd want to win it again, but out of all the priorities we've got this season, Carabao Cup's probably the one that you would.
It's the lowest, but Eddie Howe would never say it.
No, and
is it?
But in many ways, you're looking at tonight. They've won the game again tonight. They're three wins away from the semi-final. Two wins away from the semi-final.
They've got a draw you wouldn't have chosen, but
home draw. Eddie Howe said
it's at home. It's at home, yeah. So has he commented on it already?
Well, he said a home draw would be perfect.
Did he?
So
shows how much I was missing.
No. So yeah, Spurs next round. Always tough, but Newcastle historically in this competition have always had to beat decent Premier League sides to progress. They did it last year with Chelsea, Brentford, Arsenal. Yeah, before with Man United, Man City. So
yeah.
No, we spoke about with Asula as a standout. Joe Linton got a couple of goals tonight. Sorry. We sort of touched on the back too, about the future of Newcastle United. Those two, Chow and
Ramsdale
Botman.
the future?
Ramsdale couldn't have done anything about the
No.
goal, but there was times in that first half when Ramsdale was pressed. He sprayed out a ball at the right hand side.
Yeah, it was nice and easy.
The full
He's a good footballer, and I think it's only a matter of time before he gets a decent opportunity. I don't think Nick Pope's done anything to deserve to be taken out of the team, being brutally honest. He's played really well at the start of the season, so I wouldn't be doing that. But games come thick and fast, injuries happen, you never know when that opportunity's going to come. And I think one thing about this squad is, in most of the positions, most of the time, Newcastle United have got that trade-off where even if you take one player out, that somebody coming in is normally good enough to not see the levels of the whole team drop. There's probably only 2 or 3 players in that team, in that squad, that are almost the irreplaceables. Drop Tonali out, it's an issue, but like I say, who knows, Miley, it's time for him to step up and take that opportunity.
I think, talking about him, because I think you watched our video after Bournemouth and you thought we were quite critical of Lewis Miley, and one thing we were sort of criticised him on was sort of the safe passes.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
And realistically, he didn't do that. He took risk, and okay, there was a mistake in there, but you can sort of accept that, and it's hard to criticise him for when we criticise when he wasn't doing that.
Yeah,
so I want to see more of that. I want to see more of the taking risks and pinging balls forward, which he done today. I thought he was really, really good.
Yeah. He's got it in his game.
What I liked is he did give the ball away a few times, but then won it back. His recovery runs were actually really good today, and yeah, I asked Eddie Howe about him, and Eddie Howe couldn't speak high enough of him. He said excellent from Louis Miley today. The way he sort of linked up with Joe Linton and Bruno from deep helped Newcastle control the midfield. I mean, he's never going to sort of criticise a player really if Newcastle won the game at a canter really. But yeah, I thought Lewis Miley, after sort of hot and cold, indifferent performance almost at Bournemouth, took his chance tonight, even though he probably looks at the Bradford goal with a bit of frustration.
Should we go to the ads?
Yes. Here's a word from our sponsors. Comply IT Limited. Worrying about disposing of your old IT equipment? Don't be. Comply IT handle everything. Secure collection, detailed tracking, and certified data destruction. That's Comply IT Limited. 4 Rivers Financial Planning. 4 Rivers Financial Planning offer holistic financial advice for all stages of life, ensuring your plan remains robust and adaptable in the ever-changing world we live in. So those were our 2 sponsors, links in the description below. And if you like what we do, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for all your latest Geordie Journos content. There's also a shop in the link below if you want any Geordie Journos merchandise, which is always nice and very fashionable to wear. So,
nice mugs as well.
I use mine all the time.
I do too.
Probably too much.
I know.
I wear my hoodie around the house.
Too many coffees today.
I've got a big Geordie Journos hoodie.
I don't.
I wear it around the house.
Do you?
Yeah,
my t-shirt.
My mum purchased one.
Right. Aye.
No, I'm
It
just
was
a
a Christmas
man.
present.
But yes, where do we want to wrap up this video? Because we want to look ahead. Big game, Sunday, St James's Park, Arsenal. How we're feeling ahead of that game and how we're wanting Newcastle to set up.
Before I come on to that, I kind of looked at this game in a little sequence. I think in the run-up to the next international break, I would look at, I thought Newcastle have to, they'd only won 1 game this season up till tonight. I felt they had to win 3 out the next 4 to almost set themselves up in the right position. You can probably afford to lose one of the league games, but you have to win the other one. You don't want to lose any, of course, and I think they had to win in the Champions League to build their foundation.
Yeah.
And they had to get through in the competition today, so they've done one part of that. You would still hope, if they can go unbeaten, get a point against Arsenal potentially. That'd be a tough game. They're a good side. you could probably put 4 injuries into Arsenal's team and it wouldn't make any difference. They talk about Newcastle having a deeper squad. That's what Arsenal have done this season. Is really deepen our squad.
They've got a sort of a big injury blow at the weekend. Matty.
You just bring Saka in.
Yeah, true.
Eze was on the bench. Martinelli scored a beautiful goal, equaliser. They've got talent, and Arsenal get a bad rep at times. I think it's partly because of the manager, really.
He's petulant.
Yes, I think that always, and Newcastle, it kind of brings us onto the thought of what will Eddie Howe do. Mikel Arteta just seems to, it's like he's kryptonite, this Newcastle United 5 at the back. So I would expect Eddie Howe will go with the 5 at the back again. The 5-4-1, quite rigid. And I would think it'd be I would go with the 2 centre halves plus Dan Burn if he's fit and fine. No Jacob Murphy tonight. That wasn't a question asked, actually. I'm sure he's rested.
So he's been carrying Achilles. He's played a long guy. You had Sula moved out the right, didn't you? So I'd cover out that side, give him a day off.
Jacob Murphy comes back in for me.
Is he?
Jacob Murphy, Gordon
the
on
wing
the
back?
left.
Oh, sorry.
No. And Gordon on the. So my wing backs would be. I would just go back to probably Trippier and Livramento.
Right.
I've been calling for Lewis Hall to be, and I think he did. Like I said, knock a bit of rust off again today. I still don't think he's at his right levels yet. I don't think he's done enough for me in the 2 games. That might be different to other people's opinion out there. I don't think Lewis Hall has. He hasn't done badly. That's not saying he's done badly, but has he done enough to displace a defence that was functioning really well and performing really well? I don't think he has. Even though I like the balance that he adds, and he is. I still think he's the best left back. I still would probably keep Livramento and Trippier with a back 3. Pope comes back in and have Gordon, Voltemada and Murphy. Do I think that's what he'll go with? I don't know. I think Eddie Howe has become less predictable this season. I think it's harder to predict the teams.
What's your midfield then?
Picks itself.
But a player will have to drop out.
Well,
Ronaldo and Bruno.
Yeah, because you've named 5 at the back.
Of course I have. 5 at the back. Just think about this one.
Joe Linton's just scored twice. Always
Uh-huh.
turns up well against Arsenal.
That's a really good shout, Dom. I was going to play with 12.
That would have helped. They might.
They should.
I would have backed them to win.
I would
with
pick
12.
all 3. Put them all in.
Fair enough.
What a tough one that is, isn't it, when you think about it?
If you want to go your 5 at the back,
How's he done it in the past then?
it's usually drop the.
Because Bruno's. It was an Arsenal Cup game when Bruno was suspended for the away tie, and then Joe Linton was suspended for the home tie.
So he's just gone one of the 2.
It's a tough one.
I think he's going to play Gordon up top.
Oh, is that what it's screaming out now?
You put Joe Linton
on the left.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But
Joe Linton drops out for me. If I'm picking my team, Joe Linton comes off the bench if needed.
Yeah.
Although his physicality in those games is often invaluable.
Yeah.
Play him up front.
No.
Great finishing tonight.
Eddie
Howe referenced him. He's a
it
goal
was
scorer.
good finishing, but he had all the time in the world.
Against a League One side.
Yes. So I'm not going to judge that. But I'm pleased he did it. I'm really disappointed in him, actually. He didn't get his hat-trick.
I know, you were.
Yeah, so good.
Him and Asula, you were.
Yeah, I was willing them to get the hat-trick, to scrape his name out of the last man to score a hat-trick.
Yeah. So petty.
It is petty.
It's alright though, I love it.
I know, that's what I wanted. So I've come round to this point where I said, Liam, pick your team. I can't. is the answer. I'm hoping when you guys really discuss this on Thursday, the professionals among us, that you actually don't pick 12 players, you pick 11. and you think about this.
You pick the winning team. If Eddie Howe can sneak 12 onto the pitch, they'll probably beat Arsenal.
Yeah, well, I'm talking rubbish. I would probably take Joe Linton now, but even when I'm saying that, I'm finding it difficult.
Yeah.
Does Anthony Gordon come out of the team? But how well Gordon played against Arsenal?
Or do you go... Does Murphy stay out and then you keep Joe Linton in?
Maybe.
Voltemada? And it's a Voltemada Gordon?
Joe Linton's always done that role so well where he's done the cover.
I'll tell you what, that's a shout. Voltemada Gordon up top, and yet you're playing the three in the midfield.
Yeah. Joe Linton moves out wide. Gordon moves out wide. It's fluid.
I think we're going to save. Me and Dom are going to save our team for Friday.
And once we spoke to Eddie Howe and got sort of picked his brains a little bit.
He gave nothing away for the Carabao Cup tie.
You'd have to ask him about Jacob Murphy because you said about that injury, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he'll be alright, but yeah, it's worth it.
That's a question, yes.
Yeah. Oh well. There we go.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll wrap up. It's been another productive evening for Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup and at St James's Park. Well, myself and Jordan will be back at the Newcastle United Media Centre for Eddie Howe's pre-match press conference ahead of Newcastle United's match back here at St James's Park, back in the Premier League on Sunday. So thanks for watching. Remember, if you like what we do, please like, comment, share, subscribe and ring the bell for all your latest Geordie Journos content, and we'll see you again on Friday.